Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's expert webinar titled SAP Finance. I am Abhishek from Spring People. We are India's largest enterprise training provider. I will be your moderator for today's session. In today's session, we have Mr. Dharma with over 21 years of comprehensive experience in SAP SDLC, specializing in SAP S4 HANA and ECC in the FI and CO module. With a track record of managing ERP projects, including 2 full lifecycle implementations and support, Mr. Dharma brings extensive expertise in configuring, customizing, training, implementing, and maintaining SAP FI and CO modules. Mr. Dharma is laser-focused expertise in SAP, QAD, Q Squared, XP, Vista, NT, Oracle 8X, MS SQL, Tally, Wings, Focus and Fact, MS Excel, MS Project, MS Visio, to name a few. Known for a strong understanding of ERP process, Dharma excels in converting business requirements into SAP solutions. With a professional background in independently configuring and customizing SAP R3, FI, and CO, they possess excellent interpersonal skills, analytical abilities, and problem-solving capabilities. In today's webinar, Mr. Dharma will let us know about understanding overview of SAP Finance, business process in SAP, implementing SAP Finance, understanding the finance and controlling modules in SAP. To all the participants, you can mention your questions in the chat box and it will be answered at the end of the session. Without further ado, let's start today's session. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Dharma to start the session. Over to you, Mr. Dharma.
Thank you, Kaushik. Fine. Okay. Good evening, all. Okay. So today session will cover the complete business process of finance and controlling in SAP. Before starting that, let's understand what is SAP and what is FI and CO in SAP, how it relates with other modules in SAP, and what are the core functionalities of SAP financial and controlling processes in the enterprise resource planning. So all these things we'll discuss one by one. So let's move to the next slide. So first, try to understand what is ERP. So ERP is nothing but it's an enterprise resource planning which caters to the needs of the large enterprises which have multiple requirements. Let's say, for example, they might be into financing, they might be into manufacturing, they might be into purchases of raw materials, they might be into sales. So a lot of activities will be there. They might be into the production of goods, and they might be also into providing services to the vendors. So all these things before ERPs, everything used to be handled in different softwares. And for the management, it used to be a very big task to compile all these things and to get a complete picture of the company in one sheet or in one format. So they have to combine a lot of other softwares, extract the reports from multiple softwares and combine all those things, and finally generate a financial report or any kind of report from the softwares, different softwares. So to avoid all such kind of things, a lot of companies have come up with ERPs, resource plannings, wherein all these things are at the back end integrated with all the activities of the company. Say, for example, you are manufacturing something, okay? You have a production area. Your production area will be integrated with your purchase area, okay? You need to purchase raw materials, right? So that will be integrated in ERP, okay? Again, once you produce goods, okay, you will store them, the finished goods, in the warehouse. Okay, those things you will sell to the vendors or customers, okay, based on the requirement. So those things will be handled and integrated at the back end in the SAP ERP or any other ERP. So the ERP will provide you real-time information on all the areas within your organization. Okay. So ERPs, expandedly, it's called as enterprise resource planning. Okay. It's incredibly large, extensive software packages are used to manage a firm's business processes. Okay. are standard software packages that must be configured to meet the needs of a company. Okay, database programs with the following functions. Okay, so what does the ERP contain? Okay, it contains the standard software package, okay, which comes with a standard software package, which might not be ready to use for your company's requirements. Okay, you need to configure as per your company's requirement, because every company will have different business process. Okay, the process of running business is not same for everybody, right? So there might be multiple types of companies which need different types of business process. Okay, so the ERP comes with a standard package that needs to be configured as per the business requirement of the client. Then only you will be able to use it and generate the required reports from the ERP. Okay, so in this configuration, what you will do? Okay, you will give the input to the SAP system or ERP system. Okay, once you configure the system, okay, you can store and retrieve the data that you have configured. Or manipulation means changes. You can make changes to that, and you can also generate reports from the ERP system. Okay, and what are the benefits of ERP software? Okay, so it provides you with improved processes and better tracking of all the activities within the company. Okay, with implementation of ERP, it improves the complete processes of all the areas, and you can have better tracking of the processes that are being running in the company. Okay, it helps the management to take a better decision. Okay, because all the data in the ERPs will be available on real-time basis. Okay, so whenever you are looking for some kind of data with multiple areas of companies, say for example, you want to see how much of raw material you have procured today, that can also be accessed on real-time basis in ERP. Or if you want to see the sales figure for today or this week or this month, that can also be accessed immediately on real-time basis, and it helps the management to take better decisions to improve the business process. Okay, so it can also be globally integrated. Okay, you can integrate this ERP in multiple geographical locations of the world. Okay, it's not restricted to one country or one particular area. Okay, so ERP has a provision to do the global integration, wherein you can integrate your companies running across multiple geographic locations across the world. Okay, and it also comes up with multiple currency types. Okay, so and it also provides you with exchange rates on real-time basis. Okay, you can do the real-time basis exchange rates transactions in ERPs, or you can set an average rate and do the revaluation at the month end or year end. Okay, this is also possible. Okay, and additionally, it reduces your IT maintenance. Okay, so earlier they used to use a lot of softwares to handle different things. Say for example, for handling the production, they used to have different software. For handling the finance, they used to have different software. For handling sales, they used to have different software. But with ERP, you can handle all the things in one software itself. Okay, that means it reduces a lot of other software costs and the additional people who are working on different softwares. The IT employees will also be reduced, and you will have real-time information from the ERP systems. Okay, and all these things will be available for you in a single system. You need not go into any other system for any other kind of reports. Okay, so it will reduce your IT maintenance. Okay, all your customization, your operations, your reporting, everything will be available in a single system, and it is very easy to maintain all these things in a single system rather than maintaining in multiple systems. Okay, so it also provides information so that the company can be managed. Okay, not just monitored. Okay, so let us see what are the different types of core modules that are available in SAP ERP. Okay. So in SAP ERP, we have financial accounting, controlling, which is also called as management accounting, and AM, asset management, which is also called fixed assets management, where we will manage all the assets of the company. Project systems is there. Okay, and within SAP ERP itself, you have office communication. Okay, workbench system is there. Okay, and you have different industry specific solutions. We'll see those things in the next slide. Apart from that, you have sales and distribution to handle the sales part of your goods that you have produced or services that you are providing. Materials management will help you in procurement process of the raw materials. Okay, production planning will help you in producing the goods with proper planning and all those things. Okay, quality management, once you produce the goods, okay, you have to go for quality check of your goods that you have produced, Quality management is also available in SAP. Plant maintenance is there. Under plants, you will have different production areas. Okay, so all these things can be maintained under plants. Okay, you have HR also, human resources. Okay, to handle the workers and employees of the company. So these are the core modules. Apart from this, there are a lot of other third-party tools and SAP additional softwares are there. Okay, which we are not discussing on this part, but a lot of other things are there. But these are the core modules that any business will start using when they start implementing SAP. Okay, so when we discuss about the industry specific solutions, as I told you, every business process will be different for different kind of industry. Okay, so each industry will have its own business process. Okay, you cannot compare retail business process with a manufacturing business process, because when you are doing a retail business, okay, you are simply purchasing the finished goods and selling them to some end customer. But when you are doing manufacturing, what you are doing, you are purchasing raw materials and manufacturing the goods and you are selling them to the wholesaler. Okay, so these are two different verticals of industries. Okay, each industry will have its own business process. So to differentiate these things and to give proper solution for all the industries, SAP has come up with industry specific solutions. Okay, so which again will be done using the core modules only. Okay, so which will be again done using core modules only. There will be some additional what we say components that will be used for meeting the specific requirements of industry solutions. Okay, for example, we have industry solution for high tech and electronics. Consumer products we have. For chemicals, there is a different process. We have industry solution for that. Okay, so similarly for automotive we have, for retailing you have, for banking sector you have. Okay, for oil and gas also you have. So let me explain one from this area. SAP oil and gas is there. When you take SAP oil and gas, okay, it is a different type of industry. Okay, it is not a regular type of manufacturing industry or service industry or a retail industry. Okay, in oil and gas industry, what you will have, you will extract the oil and you will sell it to the refineries or large companies. Okay, in SAP oil and gas, you have two things, two components. One is okay, upstream and one is downstream. Upstream means extraction of oil and gas from the earth or ocean. Okay, that is one process. They have one component for that. Downstream means once you extract these things, oil from the ocean or land, okay, earth, you will supply them. Okay, the supply process will be downstream. So they have different kinds of solutions for these things, handling these things, because this is not a regular production area or regular retail sales area. So likewise, every industry will have its own type of business. So to meet all these requirements, SAP has come up with industry-specific solutions. These are a few things that I have mentioned, but SAP has a lot of other things also for industry-specific solutions. Okay, moving to the next slide. So what are the core processes that we see in the ERP? So when you start implementing any ERP, okay, you will start with financial accounting. That will be the core for any ERP or any software or any company. Okay, without capturing the financial transactions, you cannot handle anything in any company. So that's why any company which starts implementation of ERP or any other software, they will start with financial accounting only. Because even when you purchase the software also, you have to keep a record of that, right? So financial transactions are very important for any company to keep track of everything, all the transactions within the company. So the process starts from financial accounting. Then materials management, we will handle procurement. Okay, all the purchases will be handled in the materials management. Sales and distributions. Whatever goods and services you are providing, okay, whatever goods you are selling or whatever services you are providing, to handle those things we use sales and distribution. And in the production area, we will manufacture the goods. Okay, it has complete end-to-end process for production also. And we have management accounting. Okay, that is nothing but CO. Okay, when we say FI CO, FI handles financial accounting part, CO handles management accounting part. Okay, and this is a combination of the CO part is a combination of both in terms of like cost accounting and management accounting. It's a combination of both the things. Okay. So before going to the organization elements, okay, let me explain you for what purpose we use FI and for what purpose we use CO. Okay, so the financial accounting part we specifically use for external reporting purpose only. Okay, using the financial accounting part, we will generate the financial statements of the company, which will include your balance sheet, your profit and loss account, your trial balance. Okay, so why we call it as external reporting? Because we use these reports to show the status of the company, the financial health of the company. So for example, if you want to procure a loan to extend your business, okay, you should have a good financial report, right? So if you want to get a loan from the bank will ask you for a financial report, your profit and loss account and your balance sheet. Okay, and if you want to make payment of taxes to the government, okay, out of the profit that you have earned from your business, what is the base for making payment of your taxes? That will be your financial accounting reports only, your profit and loss. Okay, based on your profit, you will make the payment of taxes to the government. Similarly, there might be a lot of investors who have invested in your company. They want to know the financial status of your company, the health of your financial status. Okay, those people will also be interested. So for meeting all these requirements, we use financial accounting, which will generate your financial statements and can be shared with public auditors and government for meeting the financial requirements. Okay, whereas the management accounting and cost accounting is corely used for internal purpose only. Okay, it is used for internal purpose only. You will not generate any report, or you'll generate a lot of reports, but you will not share anything with outsiders. Okay, that will be used by management to improve the business process. Okay, so for example, a company is manufacturing 2 products, okay, and it is selling these 2 products in the market. Okay, and you can generate a cost center wise or profit center wise report for each product. At the end of the year, if the management sees that one product is doing exceptionally well and they need to increase the business on that part, and another product is not doing well and they wanted to discontinue that, how do they know that? Okay, they can know that using management accounting. They can maintain profit centers, cost centers. Okay, they can get the detailed information of these 2 products. Okay, the product which is doing better, they can improve the marketing of the product by investing more money, and the product which is not doing well, they can discontinue it. Okay, so thus the reports from management accounting will help the management to take better decisions in running the business. Okay, so these are the core differences between finance and controlling. So the finance is solely used for external reporting purpose. The management accounting CO is solely used for internal reporting purpose. So coming to the finance perspective, okay, so you have these organizational elements in the finance area. Okay, you will have client in SAP, okay, which is the highest hierarchy. Okay, under a client you will have company. Okay, company is the optional entry in SAP. You will have company code. A company code always represents a legal entity in SAP ERP. Okay, so if you have 4 or 5 companies in a big organization, okay, 4 or 5 legal entities, for each legal entity you have to maintain a company code. Okay, company is an optional entry only. Okay, every company code will represent a legal entity in SAP. Okay, so apart from that, you have chart of accounts. Okay, the chart of accounts will contain the information related to your GL accounts in the company code. Okay, and you have account groups. Okay, we'll define account groups also. Like we want to segregate the types of accounts like assets, liabilities, income, expenses, all these things. So for each type of account, you can create groups and you can create GL accounts in that account groups so that you can easily identify what type of account it is. Okay, you have a fiscal year variant also, which represents the financial year. Okay, in SAP we call it as fiscal year variant. Fiscal year variant is nothing but that contains the information related to your financial accounting year. For example, if you take America, US or European countries, their financial year starts on 1st of January and ends on 31st of January, 31st of December. So we call it as a calendar year. Okay, whenever a financial year starts on 1st of January and closes on 31st of December, it is a calendar year and it is also called as a fiscal year for them. But when it comes to India, okay, our financial year starts on 1st of April and closes on 31st of March. Okay, which is different from the calendar year. So your fiscal year variant will contain information related to your financial year. The start date of the financial year and end date of the financial year will be there in the fiscal year variant. Okay. So apart from that, you have document types in SAP to identify different types of transactions. Okay, so for example, if you take normal accounting bookkeeping scenarios, okay, say for example, you are maintaining manual accounts. Okay, for making cash payments, you will maintain a cash book. For making purchases, you will maintain a purchases book. Okay, for making sales, you will maintain a sales book. Okay, for making payment to your employees who are working with you, you will maintain a payroll book. Okay, so you will have different types of books in manual accounting process. Okay, but here we are maintaining all these things in the system in an ERP. So how do you identify those things? What type of transaction you have done? Using document types, we identify them. Okay, we have a lot of document types in SAP. For example, document type SCA is there. So whenever you see a document with SCA, it will be a general ledger document. Okay, whenever you see a document with DA, it will be a customer document. Okay, whenever you see a document with KA, it is a vendor document. So like this, you can differentiate between different types of transactions using the document type in SAP. Okay, and apart from that, you have field status variant also. So the field status variant will have the complete information of the fields that are displayed on your SAP screen. So for example, for posting an entry in SAP, okay, on a single screen, you will have a lot of fields. Okay, so you might not be using all those fields on daily basis to process your transactions. Okay, so whatever fields you don't want to display on that particular screen, you can hide them. Or some fields you want to make them as required entry, you can make them as required entry. Or some fields you can make them as optional entry. Okay, so to control all these things, we have field status variant in SAP, which will control all the fields that are being displayed on the screens of the SAP transaction processes. Okay, and apart from that, we have business areas. Okay, we use business areas to generate independent financial statements for geographic area or product types. Okay, just a minute. Say for example, you are running a business, okay, and you're running it in 4 areas of the country. Okay, so for example, east, west, north, south. Okay, you have a single business only. Okay, but you're running in 4 different geographical areas of the country. Okay, at the end of the year, you wanted to see the financial statement of each geographical area independently. Okay, on the whole company code, you can generate the financial report for entire company irrespective of regions. But if you want to see region-wise report, you can maintain 4 business areas in SAP. While posting transaction in that particular geographical location, okay, you can choose that business area, and at the end of the month or at the end of the year, you can generate financial statement for business areas, which will give you area-wise, geographical area-wise financial report. Okay, which we might not use for making the payment of taxes and other things to the government, but which we can be used for internal purpose of the company. Okay, we can generate business area financial statements. Apart from that, you can use this for products also. If you're handling multiple products, okay, say for example, you are manufacturing fans, air coolers, and ACs. Okay, you want to see the financial statement of these products independently. Okay, you can maintain business area for the products also. Okay, so it can be used both for geographical area financial statements or product wise financial statements also. Okay, so these are the basic organization elements. Okay, we have a lot of other things, a lot of elements are there. Okay, in CO also we have a lot of organization elements. Okay, but these are the 4 things that we need to configure when we are starting with finance. Okay. Now we'll try to understand the business process, okay, of a company, any company, okay, how the real world business processes are done, okay, and how ERP meets these requirements, okay, specifically SAP, how it meets all these requirements, okay, and where finance and controlling stand on all these processes. Okay, so before moving to the business process, okay, let me clearly explain you one thing. So whenever you come across a SAP ERP or any functional module job requirements, okay, people will ask you for domain experience. as well as SAP experience. Okay, so what do you mean by domain experience? They want you to have a prior knowledge of the business or the functional area where you are working. Say for example, I'm a financial consultant. Okay, I should have complete knowledge of the financial reporting and all those things before I start these things. For sales and distribution module, they should know the business process of how the goods and services are sold in the market. Okay, similarly procurement. Okay, purchasing of raw materials. Okay, they should have prior experience in that area. They should know the business process. Okay, so knowing of business process is very important to implement any ERP. Okay, without knowing the business process, it is very difficult. And gaining the business process knowledge is pretty easy. You can find all these types of things in YouTube, everywhere. Google also you can find. You can check the manufacturing process of different industries. Okay, you have a lot of things, a lot of videos are available. You can check different processes. Okay, wherein you can understand the business process. Okay, so on the whole, understanding the business process is the basic concept, and fitting the business process into SAP solution is the next thing as a consultant you have to do. Okay, if you understand the business process properly, you can fit this business process on a particular area in SAP. Okay, so for example, we are running a business. Okay, so let us take a typical manufacturing company business process. Okay, so when you take a manufacturing company business process, what is your core activity in this business? Okay, so you will be purchasing raw materials. Okay, and you will be manufacturing the goods. Okay, and you will sell those finished goods to the customers. So in the process, what you have, the main thing, you have suppliers who are supplying raw materials to you, and the customers who are purchasing the finished goods that you have manufactured in your company. Okay, so these are the two key things. Okay, out of these two key things only, you will have a lot of other business processes coming in the next slides. Okay, so let us see one by one. Okay, so from suppliers, what you will do? Okay, you will purchase raw materials from the suppliers. I'll explain this process in detail. Okay, and with the customers, what you will do? You will sell the goods that you have manufactured. Okay, so when it comes to the purchase of raw material, okay, you have all these options. You can request for a quotation from the vendors for purchasing raw materials. Okay, once you receive the quotation, you can give the purchase requisition, or you can directly create the purchase order and give it to the vendor. Okay, the vendor then supplies the material to you. You will receive the materials in your business. Okay, then along with material, he will also send you the invoice. The vendor will also send you the invoice, and for that invoice you will make the payment. Okay, this is a simple vendor process. Okay, so whenever you want to purchase raw material, you create a request for quotation or purchase order directly. You will get the materials from the vendor. The vendor will also send the invoice to you, and you will make the payment towards that invoice. This is a simple process. Again, once you purchase these raw materials, you will produce them. You will do the manufacturing part in your company. Then once you get the finished goods, you will sell them. Okay, for selling also you have process. Okay, so prospective customers may ask for quotation on your finished goods. Okay, you can give the sales quotation to them. Once the customer is happy with your sales quotation, he might place a sales order with you. Okay, once he places a sales order, what you will do? You will send the finished goods to the customer. You will supply the finished goods to the customer through a shipment. Along with the goods, you will also send invoice to the customer. Okay, once the customer receives goods and invoice, he will make the payment against your goods shipment. Okay, so this is a simple process of sales. Okay, now move to the next step. So now you can see how the steps are adding. Okay, so ERP integrates all these things at the back end. ERP integrates all these things at the back end. So now I am taking you in a step-by-step way to understand in a proper way and in-depth way about the business process and how ERP solves the problem of all these things. Okay, it is integrated at the back end to give you complete information on all the things that you are doing in the company. So we have just spoken about suppliers and customers, vendors and customers, right? Okay. So here you will have, under suppliers, you will have material, sources, pricing, and contracts. And here in the customers, you have customers, products, and pricing of your finished goods. Okay. Once you receive the material, okay, where do you post the material? It will be posted into the inventory. Okay. So once you receive the material, okay, you will post it into inventory. This will be your current asset. Your inventory will always be your current asset. Okay. And apart from that, you are making payment to the vendor, right? So here, then general ledger comes into picture. Okay. You are making payment to the vendor, and here you are receiving payment from the customer. So here your purchases account will be, okay, will go into negative. Your here, once you receive the payment, your sales receipts account will go into positive. Okay. So here it will be adding money to your account. Here it will be, okay, decreasing money from your account. Okay. So where you handle these things, supplier invoice, okay, vendor invoice and payment, you handle in accounts payable. Okay. And customer invoice and customer payment receipt, you will handle accounts receivable module. Okay. So everything will be, you can see everything in the general ledger. Okay. So general ledger is closely integrated with accounts receivable and payable, because they have recon accounts. Okay. They have reconciliation accounts integrated in the general ledger account. Okay. So through general ledger, you can see the total payables to the vendors and total receipts from the customers. Okay. Now moving to the next step. Okay. So now here the first step, we have purchased the raw materials. Okay. Once you receive the raw materials, you have posted into inventory. From inventory, what you are doing, you are issuing them to the production. You are issuing them to the production. So in this area, you will not have any impact on the general ledger or accounts payable or accounts receivable, because this is internal process. This is internal process. So your inventory will have some effect. Okay, your inventory will decrease once you issue materials to the production area. Okay, when you receive the material, your inventory will increase. When you issue the material to the production area, your inventory will decrease. So this kind of internal transactions will be posted using movement types in SAP. Okay, this will be solely handled in the MM, SD, and PP modules. Okay, so as a finance guy, we have nothing to do with this. These transactions will internally happen between these three modules: materials management, sales and distribution, and production planning, PP. Okay, so once you issue the raw material to the production area, okay, they will be sent to the production order. Okay, from production order, they will manufacture the finished goods. Okay, so they will manufacture the finished goods. So in production order, you have bill of materials and routing. Okay, bill of materials is nothing but a formula for manufacturing the finished goods. Okay, routing is nothing but different stages of manufacturing process. Okay, these are in production planning. Okay, so you will be doing the finished goods, finished products here in the PP area. So now what is the next step? Okay, so we have seen purchase of raw material, okay, storing them in inventory, from there issuing to the production order. Okay, now finished goods are done. So what is the next step? Okay, next step is planning. Okay, so here this is a bit wide area. Okay, so for doing for running your business, okay, you need proper planning. Okay, so the planning can happen in the MRP area. Okay, this is material requirement planning. But what will be the base for this? Your sales orders and sales forecast. Okay, so let us take a normal business example. I am manufacturing some branded toothpaste. Let us take Colgate. Okay, so every month the marketing team will have their targets. Okay, for every product, you take any FMCG product, they will have marketing targets. Okay, so at the end of the month, what they will do, they will take the complete information of the sales of that particular month. Okay, complete information of the sales order and how much they have sold in the market. So for example, this month I have sold 1000 units. Okay, then the management might give me a task, okay, to get additional 100 units sales for the next month. So my target becomes 1100 units. Okay, so this is your actual sales order information, and your target will be sales forecast. So based on your sales forecast, you have to do the material requirement planning. Okay, what is material requirement planning? You have to increase your planning to procure the additional raw materials to produce these additional 100 units. Okay, so I'll give you a complete picture in the last slide where we have end-to-end process. So here I am explaining with the naming culture. Okay, so you need to have material requirement planning, okay, based on which the system will automatically hint you to raise a purchase order. Okay, so in all these activities, okay, what is flowing from where? Okay, if you see this, okay, if you see these areas, okay, on top of that you can see this one. Okay, so the information is flowing inward. Okay, your sales area, sales forecast, sales orders, this MRP, and this is purchase orders. All the information is flowing inside into the SAP system. Okay, and if you see these materials, the information is flowing outside. Okay, you are purchasing the raw material, issuing it to inventory, producing the goods, and selling the goods. Okay, the information is passing outside. Okay, then again at the bottom level, okay, the information is passing inside the SAP. Okay, you're receiving supplier invoice, you're making the payment. Okay, and you're receiving the customer, you're sending the customer invoice, receiving the payment from the customer. All this information is flowing inside SAP. Okay, this is flow of information into different areas in all these activities. Okay, so the management of inventory is a very peculiar task in any business. Okay, so you have to maintain the right inventory, okay, for that particular month or period. Okay, so if you maintain too little inventory, you might lose customers because you will produce less goods. If you maintain more inventory, you might run out of cash. Okay, you might purchase a lot of inventory, but there are not enough customers to purchase those things. So you have to maintain a right amount of inventory. Okay, so to handle this process, to maintain right amount of inventory in your company, you have different processes. Okay, one is make to order. Okay, one is make to stock, one is assemble to order. Okay, so based on your business forecasts, okay, or business process, you can do these things. Make to order means nothing but like whenever you receive an order, then only you will produce the goods. Okay, and make to stock is whenever you have enough amount, you will purchase the raw materials, you will produce the finished goods, and you will stock them to sell in the market. You take any FMCG goods, you take toilet soaps, you take toothbrush, toothpaste, edible oils, anything. These are all make to stock only. Okay, because they have monthly targets, they have monthly forecasts. So based on that, they will produce the goods, they will stock them, they will supply them on daily basis. An example for make to order, say for example, you take Rolls-Royce company. The Rolls-Royce company will never make cars and place them in showrooms for selling. They will make cars based on order only. If they receive order, then only they will make the car. That is called make to order. Okay, and this is assemble to order. Sometimes you might get the complete machinery, okay, and you might need to assemble that in different places. Okay, this is assemble to order. So apart from that, you have different things. Engineer to order is there, okay, and configure to order is also there. Okay, these are used in different business processes. And we have different types of manufacturing modes, okay, in the business. We have discrete industries, we have process industries, okay, batch management. Okay, you can see this batch management on your daily items also. Say for example, if you take dairy items, for manufacture, for processing of milk, curd, cheese, they will have batches. And you can relate this with manufacturing of medicines also. For injections, tablets, everything, they will have batch. A repetitive process. For example, take the example of car manufacturing industry. Okay, so if for a particular model, they will be manufacturing those things on a repetitive basis. Okay, job shop. Okay, whenever there is a particular requirement, then only they will do that work. Say for example, you have purchased a car. Okay, but when you went to service, okay, when you went to get service of that car, okay, if there is any problem, based on your requirement only, they will open a job sheet. Okay, this is called job shop process. And project. Okay, so for example, you take a big thing, any big thing, that is called as project. So for example, I want to order some 10 aeroplanes, passenger aeroplanes with Boeing or Airbus. Okay, so they will take it as a project. Okay, they will take it as a project and they will give timelines for delivering these units. Okay, or you can take example of a metro rail. Okay, when you construct a metro rail lane, okay, you will give an order for the rail manufacturing company to manufacture coaches for your metro rail. So that is called as a project. Okay, so these are what are the differences between manufacturing modes. Okay, so how you use these things. Okay, so you can see discrete industries. What is actually produced? Okay, in discrete industries, you produce by units. Okay, in discrete industries, you produce by number of units. Okay, how many different products can be made on this line? Okay, you can do many products. Okay, for example, I am manufacturing toilet soaps. Okay, but I have multiple brands in the toilet soaps. I have multiple brands with the different perfumes and smells and other things. Okay, so you can manufacture multiple units of many products. Okay, it can be done frequently. Okay, there will be start and stop for that. Okay, in the production area. So what quantities are produced per production run? Okay, enough to justify setup costs. Okay, how much automation typically done here? Okay, it varies. Okay, in the process industry, you have batches. Okay, lots like gases and liquids. Okay, so again here, how many different products can be made on this time line? Okay, only one. Okay, for one batch you will make only one thing. So like this, you can compare this batch process. You can do many. Repetitive industry. Okay, you'll produce units. Okay, but you are manufacturing the same thing. You are producing many units, multiple units, but you are producing the same thing. I'll take an example of any car. Okay, let's take example of Toyota Fortuner. Okay, for manufacturing that car, the process will be repetitive. We are producing units only, but you are producing only one thing. What is that? Toyota Fortuner car. Okay. Job shop, as I told you, it can be used in service industries. Projects also have given you example. Okay, this is a large and complex quantity. Okay. So these are different things. You can go through these things. Okay, so here in the discrete industry, we use bill of materials. As I told you, bill of materials is nothing but it contains the complete list of items that are required for manufacturing a product. Okay, routing is nothing but different stages of production process. Okay, where you maintain all these things in the production order. Okay, and how does ERP record production order executions in the shop floor area? Okay, so this is about different processes. Okay, so how all these things happen? This happens based on your production execution. Okay, once you execute the production order will be run. Okay, and finished goods will be produced, and you will always have MRP on the top. Okay, which will make sure that all the required raw materials are available for this production order using the material requirement planning. Okay. So we need to provide ERP with appropriate master data for manufacturing mode, and then let ERP plan and execute products and appropriate documents. Okay. So in the MRP, material requirement planning area, we will give the complete information to the system. Okay. So what is our current month's requirement? Okay. What is the number of units that we need to produce for this month? Okay. Based on that, it will do the complete MRP on the data given by us. Okay. And it will make sure that we'll maintain all those quantities to run the production process smoothly. Okay, so here what goes with what? Okay, some types of inventory strategy. Okay, engineer to order, make to order, assemble to order, configure to order, and make to stock are commonly used with some types of manufacturing modes. Okay, inventory strategies and manufacturing modes. Okay, certain combinations are commonly used in industries. Knowing which combination of inventory strategy and manufacturing mode an organization uses will help you better understand that organization. Okay, so as I told you, you need to have the complete business understanding. So what is the process that is happening at the back end? Okay, to be able to select a appropriate inventory strategy for your company. Okay, so you can go through these things. Okay, so these two things are important for maintaining the inventory strategy for any company. Okay, so this specifically applies for manufacturing companies. Okay, so here this will also give you an idea of common inventory strategies for manufacturing mode combinations. Okay, you can see discrete, process. So all these options you can see for which process what strategy will apply. Okay, so for discrete process you can apply all the things: engineer to order, make to order, assemble to order, configure to order, make to stock. Also you can apply. So for different processes you can see only these things, limited things are applicable. Okay, and these are the types of industries. Okay, so in discrete industry, what kind of things you can handle in engineer to order? Industrial machinery, mill products. Okay, in assemble to order, high-tech products. Configure to order, high-tech products. Okay, make to stock, consumer products. Okay, so configure to order, you can take an example of development of a new software. Okay, so you have given some requirement to a software development company to develop a new software. Okay, which is a high-tech company. Okay, so that is configured to order. So in batch process, as I told you, food and beverages, life sciences, as I told you, example of milk, curd, cheese, or what we say this pharmaceutical tablets, injections, syrups, all these things. Okay, and make to stock, food and beverage, and life sciences. Okay, so in make to stock also you can use the batch process. Repetitive. Okay, repetitive in assemble to order. The example of the manufacturing of Toyota Fortuner I have given to you. Job shops. Okay, in job shop you will have tool and dies. Okay, and service industry will also use this. And project, this is mainly used in aerospace, railways, big industries. Okay, aerospace you can also include, like say for example, the satellite launching process also you can include. That is also a big project. So nowadays you can see ISRO is launching satellites for multiple countries, satellites, right? So that is also a project. It's a big project. They will assemble a complete satellite launch vehicle to launch the satellites. Okay, that is also a big project. Okay. So now you can see the complete information flow from different areas. Okay, so your information is flowing from purchase area to the inventory. Okay, from here it is flowing to the production area. You are receiving the finished goods. Okay, here you can maintain the product life cycle management also. Additionally, you can maintain product life cycle management. Okay, and again these finished goods, they are going into the sales and distribution area. You are selling them, you are receiving the money from the customer. Okay, you are purchasing goods, making payment to the vendor. Your inventory is increased, you are issuing inventory to production area. From there you are receiving finished goods, you are selling them to the customers, you are receiving the payment from the customers. Okay, in all this process the data is continuously flowing using accounts payable, accounts receivable into the general ledger accounting area. Okay, so in between, additionally what you have. Okay, so in the material receipt, once you receive the material, you are sending it into the inventory area. Okay, here comes into picture the quality management. Okay, here the quality management comes into picture. So if you take an example of what we say pharmaceutical company. Okay, if you are manufacturing some tablets or something, okay, then the raw material also need to be checked for quality process. Okay, so here you can maintain the quality process for raw materials also. And once you manufacture the goods, okay, the tablets, you have to check them for quality process again, okay, before you sell them to the customers. So quality management comes into picture here. Okay, so the quality management is used in the both purchase of raw materials and before selling the finished goods to the customers. Okay, and apart from that, what you have, okay, so in the quality management, what you have, material products, specifications, and test results. Okay, you can capture the test results also. Apart from that, you have warehouse management. Okay, so where do you store all these things? Raw material will be stored in warehouse, finished good also will be stored in warehouse. You have different warehouses. Raw material warehouse will be different, finished goods warehouse will be different. Okay, warehouse management is also there in SAP ERP. Okay, and apart from that, transportation management is also there. Okay, for what purpose you use transportation management? Once you sell the goods to the customer, okay, you need to send them to his place. Okay, you need to ship them. So to handle the shipments of customers, you need to have transportation management. Okay, and after sales service will also be there. Okay, we handle it is in CS module. Okay, we handle it in CS module in SAP. Okay, and apart from that, you have enterprise asset management. So in all these processes, you have a big plant for manufacturing, right? So a big manufacturing plant will have different machineries, vehicles to transport the raw materials or to transport the finished goods within the factory. So all those things are assets. Okay, even your factory building, your administrative building, everything will be an asset. Okay, so all these assets will be managed in the asset management or asset accounting in SAP. Okay, so here to manage these things, you have fixed assets. Apart from that, you have treasury and real estate management is also there. Okay, so this is the complete business process, okay, of ERP. This is a complete business process of ERP. So you have all these components. The base components that we discussed initially are purchase and sales. Okay, so in this purchase and sales process, how many additional things that we are handling in ERP? Okay, we are handling the complete transactions, financial transactions in accounts payable, receivable, general ledger, and assets in the asset management. Apart from that, we are handling inventory in the inventory management. Okay, and we are handling production process. We are handling quality management. Okay, we are also handling the transportation management, after sales service. So this is a complete business process. Okay, you can apply this thing to any business process. Okay, now these are the core modules that we have discussed so far. Okay, we are looking into finance and controlling. Okay, finance and controlling will receive entries from this. The accounts payable will receive entries from the vendors area. Account receivable will receive entries from the customers area, and it will update the GL accounting. Okay, the sales and distribution. The sales and distribution will handle the sales quotations, sales orders. Okay, and shipment of the goods to the customer. Okay, invoice of the customer and receipt of payment from the customer. So in this area, these last two things will be handled by accounts receivable. Okay, here also these last two things will be handled by accounts payable. Okay, you can see this materials management, inventory. Okay, so here these two things, supplier invoice and payment, will be handled in the financial accounting module. All other things will be handled in the materials management module. Okay, in the production planning, we will not have any interaction with the financial accounting area because these are all internal transactions only. Okay, you have already purchased raw material which has got entry into the financial accounting for the financial payments. You are moving the inventory for production. So here you will use production orders to do the finished products. Okay, in the fixed assets, you will handle the complete assets of the company. Okay, so asset of the company means it might be anything. Okay, it might be even a chair and table that you are using in your office. Everything will be asset for the company. Okay, the car which you are using for office traveling, or the bus which you are using for transportation of your employees. Okay, or what we say, a machinery that you have installed in your production area, all these things, or trucks you are using for transporting the finished goods from your company. All these are assets. Even the laptops that you are using for processing all these things in the ERP, those are also assets. Okay, even the software license is also an asset for the company. So all such things will be handled in financial accounting fixed assets area. And in the fixed assets, you will have depreciation. Okay, you will have different types of depreciation for different types of assets. Okay, once you run the depreciation, the system will automatically calculate the depreciations and post the actual book values for that particular year. So all these things will happen automatically based on the configuration that you do at the backend in the system. Okay, so apart from that, you have plant maintenance and enterprise asset management is also there. This is a very wider area compared to the asset management, asset accounting. Okay, and you also have quality management. Okay, and apart from that, you have warehouse management and extended warehouse management. Okay, so we have basic warehouse management, which we use for handling the inventories, raw materials, semi-finished goods, finished goods. Extended warehouse management has additional capabilities even to handle the artificial intelligence process also. Even say, for example, some companies are using even robots to move the goods from one area to another area, or they're using robots to place things in the bins in the warehouse. So all these additional components can be handled in the extended warehouse management. Okay, apart from that, you have product lifecycle management also. Okay, and this is a transportation management we use for handling the transportation process in the sales and distribution area. This is service management. Okay, after sales service. We also call it as CS module. Okay, and this is another module which caters to the industry specific solution of the real estate. Okay, so REFX module handles real estate management. Okay, the construction of apartments or any construction work which relates to the real estate management can be handled in this REFX module. Okay, and you have treasury where you can handle the treasury module. Okay, so now you see the complete end-to-end process. Whatever we have discussed so far on the business process, we'll see that completely. Okay, say for example, you are starting here. Okay, you are doing some sales of finished goods. Okay, assume that you have a business. Okay, you are producing some goods and you are selling that to the customer, end customer. Okay, so the starting point will be sales. Like you receive a customer inquiry. Okay, a customer will send an inquiry to purchase the goods that have been manufactured by you. So then once you receive the inquiry, you will create a quotation of your goods and share with the customer. Okay, once the customer is okay with that, he will give the purchase order. Okay, that means in our case it will be a sales order. You will receive a sales order. Okay, when you receive a sales order, we'll create the sales order in the system. Okay, so the system is completely integrated at the back end with all these modules. Your financial accounting, controlling, sales and distribution, materials management, production planning, quality management, everything is integrated in the ERP. So once the moment I create the sales order here, okay, the moment I create sales order in the SAP system, the system will automatically check for the sufficient availability of the finished goods. Okay, the system will automatically check. As I told you, it happens on real-time basis. So when the system checks for the availability of the finished goods, okay, if the finished goods are available, okay, you will prepare the shipment, you will send the shipment to the customer, then you will send the invoice along with your shipment, and you will receive the payment from the customer. So this is a straight cycle that is completed. But what if, say for example, I am manufacturing some cars. Okay, I have received an order for 50 cars. Okay, let us take an example of Toyota Fortuner only. Some government agency has given me an order of 50 Toyota Fortuner cars. Okay, I have created the sales order. But once I created the sales order, the system has checked there, and there are only 30 cars available for delivery. Okay, out of 50 sales order, only 30 are available. Then what it will do, it will automatically issue the production order. Okay, so it will automatically issue the information to produce these 20 additional cars that are needed to fulfill this sales order. Okay, so system automatically sends, okay, gives hint to the production of additional 20 cars. Okay, so once I give the production order, okay, for producing these things, what the system will do, it will send a production request, okay, and the production manager should authorize this production request for producing additional 20 cars. Okay, once this production order is issued, then it will automatically check for the availability of raw materials, availability of sufficient raw materials to produce these 20 additional cars. Okay, so here, say for example, the raw materials are available, then they will automatically issue the raw material, they will produce the 20 additional cars, they will send to the warehouse. Okay, your order is fulfilled here. You already have 30, 20 are produced. Okay, now your finished goods count is 50, you can deliver them. But what if the sufficient raw materials for producing these 20 cars is not available? The system will automatically hit for procurement of required raw materials for these 20 cars. So you can see it's all a chain reaction. Okay, if everything is okay, your sales order will complete in one go. If there are no sufficient goods, it will again hit to the production of goods. Okay, once you hit the production of goods, if there are no sufficient raw materials, it will again hint to the procurement of raw material. Okay, here what you will do, you will issue the procurement of raw material. You will create a purchase requisition, you will purchase the required raw materials. Okay, you will receive the raw materials, and you will again send them to the production area. Okay, so this is a continuous cycle. If everything is there, everything goes smoothly. If something is not there, the system will automatically divert. Okay, it will automatically issue the required process, like production of goods, procurement of raw materials. So in all these things, what is happening when you do the sales, you are receiving payment from the customer. Okay, it will be updated in the accounting. When you purchase the raw material, okay, you are making payment to the vendor. It is automatically updating in the accounts payable area. Okay, so this is the complete chain. It is a chain reaction and cycle of chain that runs in the ERP. That is possible only because of the complete integration at the back end. Okay, so in all these processes, finance plays a vital role, financial accounting. Okay, so this complete end-to-end process in SAP business process. Okay, you can take over from here.
Thank you, Mr. Dharma, for your invaluable insights on technology. I'm sure it was certainly a very informative session for all of you. If you guys are interested in learning more about various SAP in finance, do check out our super discounted batches of virtual instructor-led trainings on our website, springpeople.com. These VILT trainings are leveraged online from the comforts of your home and flexible as per your schedule and location. If you do not find any suitable batches, we would be happy to discuss and schedule private batches for you. If you don't have time to join live online, then do try out our affordable self-paced courses. For more information, do write to us at training@springpeople.com or call on our number displayed on the current slide. Now we will open the forum to answer questions that we have received during the session. So let's get our questions answered. Over to you, Mr. Dharma.
Yes, do you have any questions?
Dear all participants, if you have any questions, kindly put it in the chat box or the question forum so that Mr. Dharma can answer. Dear all, it's a gentle reminder, if you have any questions, kindly please ask. You can put it in the chat box.
Okay, Kaushik, I think we can conclude. There are no questions.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here. We shall be sending out the webinar recording to all of you participants. I request you to kindly provide feedback before signing off, which will help us improve the quality of our future events. Thanks again for joining us today. Signing off on behalf of Team Spring People. Hope to see you again for our next expert webinar. Thank you and goodbye.